interview last night with Habibi. I have another interview later today with Aikisha from Bell Collective. Um, but I wanted to come on and clear up a few points about that interview because if you guys watched, it was a lot to take in. It was definitely, it was a lot. So, um, a few things. Number one, no, I did not pay for the interview with Habibi. We do not pay for interviews. If you watch this channel, you know that I'm an actual journalist and I've interviewed everybody from Jennifer Lewis to Felicia Rashad to Tyler Perry. So I would definitely not pay for an interview. And if anyone asks for payment for the interview, then we turn those people down. Habibi did mention at the end of the interview that he does require payment, but that's not something that we were told or knew about. So if he is doing that, I think that is the dumbest thing ever. And I think any reality star who asks for payment for interviews is not receiving great counsel from their team. And so I tried to share a little bit with that of that with him later because as a reality star, you are really you're not in the public eye because of your talent. You're there because of hype, right? And so it would behoove you to keep the hype going, you know? And so I think that's for me is the biggest thing between real celebrities and real talented people and reality stars. Reality stars are there because of the hype of the show or the hype that you have created. And so it definitely works to your benefit to keep the hype going. Because as you know, Ready to Love is on for 6 to 8 weeks, something like that. After that, a couple of months go by and there's a new crop of people that come on, and that's where the public's attention is going to be. So to say that I'm going to charge for interviews, I doubt other bloggers would pay for that. Um, but if they are, good luck to them. I doubt it. I just can't see anybody paying for a Ready to Love interview because at the end of the day, you could come on and basically just review the show and review the social media hype and have the same, content without having them say anything. Um, I don't regret doing the interview with Habibi because as a journalist, I definitely feel like everyone deserves the right to tell their truth, and he is on the show. However, I agree with you, Lorraine. Hearing his comments, when I asked him about what he said to Janelle, it was disappointing because she obviously was not lying, and the fact that there was not anything else done. You know, I think is wrong. I think that it shouldn't even have been up to elimination at the point where somebody makes a statement like that. I really hope that the producers did not have that information prior. Because if he did say something like that, then he does not belong on a dating show. He made quite a few conflicting comments. I don't really know what the goal of last night's interview was because I think at this point it probably would have been just as good as if he had turned it down. Because for him to say that he learned from, I was trying to figure out what did he learn from his experience in the Middle East, and for him to say that he learned how to treat women. In one hand, he's saying that he doesn't care how he's perceived, and that's definitely not their culture. Their culture is to always remain very reserved and very respectful, even if they do. Even if there is violence against women behind closed doors, it's definitely not done that way. So that was kind of contradictory. And then also for him to say, that they beat their women. It's like you learned how to treat women. Did you? It was a lot going on, and all for hype. And he was trying to promote his establishment. But as I told him in that interview, you would do a better job of promoting your establishment if you would attempt to connect with viewers. Because obviously you went on a reality show. And he's saying that's in the past. No, it's not in the past. It's actually the present because you go on a reality show and when the public sees it is when it's present, right? You're doing that in the future and not, it just didn't make any sense. But in any case, I just wanted to come on here and let you guys know that I'm it didn't bother me. My husband was kind of like, what the hell was happening with that interview? But I think the show, and hopefully Tommy will actually say a little bit more. He actually was upset when Janelle told him, but I'm just hoping that that didn't happen and Janelle did not let them know prior to that. It's also kind of surprising that so many people support Habibi, seeing his behavior. And that was another thing I wanted to talk about, because I think that we have to, when people are disrespectful, when men are disrespectful towards women, or even when women are disrespectful towards men, it does not work as a community if you say something like, oh, well, that's just him, he's nice to me, I like him, right? That causes that type of behavior to be able to, it basically is condoning the behavior, right? So for all the other cast members to know that that is him, and that, I will say that even Chris, and when I asked Chris, did he believe that Habibi said it? He said he felt like it's something that he might have said. So if that is something that he would have said, then that we need to hold people accountable, and that's something that I don't feel like people do a lot on this show, or period, is hold people accountable to what they said. So at the point that he said he pleaded the fifth on, saying a statement about Janelle's breasts. And then he even doubled down and basically said that she did have big breasts. It's like, that's insulting, and it is a form of sexual harassment. And so it's not okay, and it's not something that we should just laugh over. Like, people act like, well, he's just funny. Well, that's dangerous, and that type of behavior should not be tolerated by anybody. So I don't know what the behind the scenes things, that are happening. I don't know all of them. I honestly know a lot, because there's a lot of people that have been sending me things. And for those of you that continue to send me things, I appreciate it. And definitely are paying attention to all the videos. I mean, there's been all types of videos with cast members talking about what's going on. But the gossip between girls and the pettiness is disappointing to see, but it's not dangerous. You know what I mean? But to me, those type of statements from a man is definitely distasteful, and should not be tolerated. On the show. The last thing I want to say is that with all this hype going back and forth with the cast, it is just, it is giving, nobody is ready to love, right? It's giving, to me, no one is ready. And I mentioned this last night because I think, my book, literally I wrote my book because of conversations like this that I've had with women. I've interviewed women all 8 seasons on Ready to Love, and not just women on Ready to Love, but on other shows as well. And there is this belief system that if I have material things, that makes me better than you. And the reality is that's not true. It's not true. It doesn't make you better as a person. It also doesn't make you more attractive to a man. So the tit for tat that we see happening between Janelle and Kat, and even at one point Tequila, like it's really like not. It's suggesting that nobody really understands what makes them a great partner. You know, at this age, and I'm not sure how old all the ladies are, but what I do know is that everybody is too old to be going back and forth about what somebody has or doesn't have. Life happens to all of us. And if you think that you're better than somebody else because of what you have, what material items you have, life will certainly find an opportunity to humble you. Trust and believe that. And so the type of car you have, the type of purse you carry, none of that makes you, none of that suggests that you're ready to love. None of that suggests that you would make a great wife or a great partner. Basically, all that says is that right now, you've worked hard, or even not even that. It means that right now you're on you're on an upswing, but, you know, you can be on top of the world and end up in a different place without that designer bag or without that brand new Mercedes, paid off Mercedes. Those things are all a blessing. And if you're a hard worker, kudos to you, for what you have. But those of us that have been around, I've been around people that have a lot of money for most of my life, most of my adult life at this point. And what I can tell you is that does not make them a happier person. You know, it does make other people assume that. Other people assume that people with money are happier, and people with fame are are better. Sometimes people assume that they're better, but the reality is a lot of those people are not any happier than the rest of us, you know. But what I do know for certain that it definitely does not make you a good partner. I said this last night and I'll say it again. I have interviewed so many guys and talked to so many guys, and I have never heard a man say, if you watch even Kendra G's show, which I love, and I love what she's done. I'm so proud of her and so happy for her with all the success that she's having. But one of the things that her show, if you watch her show, they'll ask men, do they care about what a woman makes? And every single time the man says no. Every time I've interviewed a guy or even talk, because I've been doing some matchmaking, just trying to connect people with amazing people because I believe that everyone deserves love. Um, and men are never concerned about how much a woman makes. Men are never concerned about, if her purse is real or if her Louboutins are fake. Men really only care about what she looks like in the Louboutins, right? What does she look like in it, and if she wants something, if he likes her and he is into her and she wants the real thing, he'll probably buy it for her. So I just think it's silly, and women need to realize it doesn't make you a more attractive potential candidate. So if you're on a show, and I know they've already filmed, and so this is just the after effects of them filming. But if your goal is to find love and you really do want partnership, then going back and forth with another woman about what she has or doesn't have seems to be putting you in the wrong space. But if you really don't care about that and you're really cool and you just went on the show for an opportunity to get some hype, or to get some attention, or to maybe sell, products, or to just be more popular, then by all means, girl, do you, right? Um, but Chrissy, yes, I have been doing some matchmaking, and that I'll be talking to you guys more about that. I have a few couples that I've connected so far, but I want to make sure I'm having success before I start promoting it on a broader base. It's really important to me to be authentic and to be genuine, and I really do genuinely want people to find they're happy. And my thing is, your happy has nothing to do with what's on your arm, or what you're driving, or what even what the man has. I definitely think that women want security. I definitely that's a big point for me. I'm not going to lie and say it's not. But the bragging and the going back and forth and telling people's business, and you know it's just not, it's giving like it should have been like, you know younger people, like people that have gone through something. You expect them to have some wisdom to accompany that age. And so hopefully we'll see things turn back towards the focus being on romance and not being on tearing each other down as women. And I also, before I get out of here, I just want to say that I'm so irritated. um I watched KG, and a lot of the men definitely did and do care. Well, I will say this, for the men that care about what you have, those are not the type of men that I would be looking for. I think that the only man that, and I would say this, I interviewed KG, and I think that in those situations, the men are saying, a lot of times the man is saying, I don't want to have to take care of her. I want her to be able to take care of herself. But if you're taking care, if you meet a person, unless you're asking them to give you money, which I do know a lot of women do, people are able to take care of themselves. I don't think men are concerned about it being a Louboutin or a Gucci bag and if you can find men, let me tell you something. If you find a man who is attracted to a woman because she has a real Gucci bag and a brand new Mercedes that's paid off, trust me, that is the wrong man. That is the wrong man. That is lame AF. And I have never, ever in my years, in my 40 something years, met a man that was worth his weight that would care if a woman's purse was real or fake. The only thing he cares about is if I like it, I will buy her one. Trust me. And I've had men buy me bags. So I'm saying they don't care about that. That is not, now if he's a man that cares about that, you probably want to leave him where he's at, because he's probably going to try to use you. The only person that would care about what you have is somebody that's trying to take it from you. So I'm not even talking about those men, but I'm just saying, if you ask any man who is the reality of it, men do not care about stuff like that. They care about what the woman looks like, real talk, a lot of times how old she is, right? And if she's going to be a great partner, if she's going to be, in some terms submissive. Now, there's issues with all of that, but they don't care about what she has or what she doesn't have. That's not on men's list. Men are not looking for women to make them financially secure. And any man that is, child, I'm not even talking about those men. But I would just want to say this: I'm tired of. So I done got off listening to looking at the comments about men that are care about labels. Any man that cares about labels, run, because he probably don't want a woman. Not for real. If he wants, and if he acting like he does, he probably just want to take advantage of you, and he's a scammer. So that would be not what I'm talking about. So anyway, my last point before I get off of here, because like I said, I'm going to be on later with Aikisha from Ready to Love, not Ready to Love, Bell Collective. I'm getting confused because I irritated with the comments about men caring about money. Those are not even broke men, because a broke man usually, who is a good man, will be like, I want someone I can work with, who can, team up with me and we can work together. But a scammer is going to care about how much you have so he can come and get your stuff. um, okay, I'm moving on, I promise. So I just want to say that I get so irritated with women saying they are they're into female empowerment. It is that is one of the biggest issues of I think social media, is a lot of fake empowerment. There's so many women that claim they're all about female empowerment, and really they're not. Really, they're just about bragging about what they have and making sure that they look like they have more than other women. You know what? And I can say this because I stand on who I am and what I believe in. I am for female empowerment, and the way you can tell that I am is if you look at my interviews. There are women that have come on my show that I don't agree with, that I definitely, that I don't even respect. Some of the women that come on, I have no respect for. But I treat everybody with grace. I treat everybody with kindness, and I treat everybody with a level of respect, because I feel like if they given their time to come on the show, I could perhaps learn from something. Just because I don't agree with someone, or I may not necessarily respect their outlook, does not mean I can't learn from them, and does not mean that I should not give them a level of respect. And so that's what I do. I don't say it, I do it. You're never going to come on this channel and hear me just bashing another woman for no reason. That is really that. So I just get so irritated when I hear women say, well, I'm all for female empowerment. And you know good and damn well you're not. You're not. And that's one of the issues. That's why a lot of younger women do not respect older women. They don't respect women that have some years under their belt, because they know that that's not what you're really about. They know that you're really about making sure that you look good. You're using the umbrella of female empowerment to basically praise yourself and to be able to show off everything that you have or that you feel like you've accomplished. And it's lame, and people can see through it, right? So I just want to say, please stop saying, and I appreciate that, Abrac, and I appreciate that, Rochelle. Everyone's saying that they appreciate my professionalism. But trust me, the professionalism is what keeps my channel from being, huge. If I was ratchet and got on here and cuss other women out and talked negatively about women, then the channel would be a lot bigger than it is. But that's just not what I don't want to do that. Would I have more money in my bank account? Absolutely. But I don't worship money. So I don't, it's not important to me. I really do believe in empowering other sisters. And there are women that have come on this show that I don't agree with at all. And I have been able to learn something, or at least be able to see where she's coming from. And that's what I intend to do. I show grace to anyone who's in my presence. And I feel like that God, will reward me for that. Or most importantly, I sleep well at night. That's really the most important thing to me, is that I can say this is who I am, and no one can prove otherwise, right? Even in my professional career, as an entertainment publicist, there's a lot of negativity in the city of Atlanta with girls saying different things, but I always show up and I always show grace to other women. Now, there's some people I may stay away from. you know, I'm not going to be in your presence if you're on that BS, but I do not I treat everybody with respect, and I think that that's the best way as Black women that we can actually be for each other and for our race, is actually by doing what you say you're going to do and putting your money where your mouth is. All these fake I support women, and then the next thing you know, you're on the show talking about somebody else's feet or saying somebody is not as cute as you are. Like it's giving you're a liar. Okay. So anyway, I just wanted to say that, and I wanted to clear up the conversation I had with Habibi last night, because I really was, I think the thing I took away from that conversation, and I've had other conversations with Ready to Love guests that weren't great, right? But the thing that I had that I did not appreciate about last night's conversation was when I asked him the question about if he said that to Janelle, and he basically said, I plead the fifth. And then he doubled down and said something else on her, about her breast being large. Um, at that point, it probably would have been a good time to end that interview, because that is that suggests to me that he's disrespectful, and he definitely should have been kicked off that show. Hey, Kojo, I absolutely love working with you because you are a professional and you have amazing insight. And that's what I respect so much about you. I love the fact that Kojo is one of the few bloggers, which is why he's probably the only one I partner with consistently. And I actually quoted him in my book. But he's one of the few people that does not cater to the guests. He actually is honest about the issues, and he's not trying to be friends with them, and not trying to placate the truth. And I appreciate that about him. So I love and respect you, Kojo, and you know that. But anyway, y'all, I'm gonna get off here. I just wanted to come on and say that interview last night there were parts of it that were disgusting, and that really was my main issue. What he says about cheating and all his insecurities that I feel came through in the interview. Don't really bother me, because there are a lot of people that do that. But the fact that he was on this show and he was insulting to a woman on the show, a beautiful woman who didn't do anything to deserve that response, was disgusting, And for the other castmates, I'm actually going to hold them accountable. Like, why would they feel like that was okay for him to say? If you can say that sounds like something that he would say, then you guys need to be holding him accountable. And everybody it's funny because a lot of people seem like, as long as the disrespect doesn't come to them, they don't care. But it takes a real one to be able to say, nah, that's not right. And I'm a little concerned about the cast that have supported him. So I want to talk about that. And I'm going to continue to talk about that. I actually am going to reach back out to Tequila, because this season I've decided to interview people not when they're doing exit interviews only, but throughout the time, so that we're able to get real commentary in real time. But that is really troubling that so many of his castmates were supportive. And yes, Alexis, Chris, and Tequila both did doubt that Janelle was telling the truth. But to me, out of Habibi's own mouth last night, he acknowledged, to me, that was a whole acknowledgement that he did say that. Because not only did he say, I played the fifth, and then said something else under his breath, but then like I said, he doubled back down and said something else. Well, she does have big breasts, and that is disgusting, that was disgusting. So I just, I had to come on here and say that. And I did send him his team asked me for a list of questions, but you guys know, everyone that comes on my channel, I just ask them about their time on the show. Like, we can fit in some stuff about what you do, for your job and what you've done earlier in your life. But at the end of the day, the only reason that we know you, the only reason that we're talking to you is because you're on the show. He said that he's a celebrity. I looked at his Instagram page. He has 14,000 followers. I don't know any celebrities that have, 14,000 followers. But hey, I'm also learning as a publicist in this new landscape that a lot of people really don't understand the definition of celebrity. To me, reality stars are not celebrities. Celebrities are people who are in place because of their talent. And I respect reality stars because they do have to, show up and allow us a glimpse into their life, and that's got to be a lot. But a celebrity, to me, this is just to me, is somebody that has talent, and their as a um, as a result of how talented they are, they have become popular and famous. Not just popular, but that popularity has turned to fame, and but the fame is based on their talent, right? So if you look at someone like, a Beyonce, I was talking about Beyonce this morning on Fox. Beyonce is a celebrity, right? Usher is a celebrity. Denzel Washington is a celebrity, right? Megan Good, that's a celebrity because she's talented, she's an actress. Reality stars are not acting. They are giving us a glimpse into their life. They are allowing producers to manipulate them to be emotional for our enjoyment. But that is, I'm not saying that there's no skill set there, but I define it differently than I define a celebrity. And I would say that because I've worked with celebrities for, the last over 20 years. When I go on the road, I just came back from being on the road with TLC. I see the hours that Chili and T-Boz put into performing. They put hours into perfecting their craft, even after having been in the business for this long. If you are around, you know, actors, they put energy into that. Jennifer Lewis is a celebrity. Like, that's a celebrity, right? So reality star is a reality star, but I don't think it's a celebrity. I think some reality stars are acting, but I'm not going to put it on the same level as a Denzel Washington, right? I think it's just because we've taught reality stars that the more emotional and trifling they can be on camera, the more we're going to reward that behavior by giving them more opportunities. So, this is not a dig at reality stars at all. Um, and I think there are some reality stars that do become celebrities because they do have a talent that makes them famous and makes them successful. But if your talent is throwing drinks on other people or talking bad about other women and people enjoy watching you, then that is, I don't consider that a celebrity. Kim Kardashian, I will say this about Kim Kardashian. Alexa said Kim Kardashian is a reality star who is a celebrity and famous. First of all, Kim Kardashian works a lot harder than she wants people to realize she works, right? And you're right, she did become famous from a sex tape. But you can be for damn sure that Kim Kardashian is doing a lot more behind the scenes than she is letting on, right? Because you don't have an empire like that just off of being sexy, which she a lot of times she wants us to believe is just about being pretty and being looking perfect. But she does a lot of work behind the scenes, and you have to respect that. You respect that. That's why when she made that statement about women not really being willing to work, I was like, I respect it. I respect what she had to say because she got the opportunity and she ran with it. And I think that's what I mean. Like, you can have an opportunity by being on television, right? And you can have an opportunity by being on a reality show. But what you do with that opportunity kind of tells us your character. So if you are someone that gets in the door and actually is able to use that. I think Bethany Frankel is a good example. She was able to use her time on the Real Housewives and created an empire. That's dope, and she's talented, and she's more than a reality star. She's a dope businesswoman, right? Wendy Osefo from Real Housewives of Potomac. To me, she's extremely talented. She was an analyst. She's dope. You know what I mean? She's not just a reality star. But if your only claim to fame is having an attitude and being a mean girl, then to me, I am saying, for me, that's not really a celebrity. That's a reality star. So, you can agree with it or not. It's okay. But that's just my opinion based on the fact that I've dealt with a lot of people that work really, really hard. Um, and I respect and appreciate that hard work. You cannot disrespect Beyonce, or someone that has that level of work ethic by comparing them to somebody that is just cussing out other women on TV. I'm not gonna do that. I don't do that. So, in any case, I hope you guys enjoyed um, the interview to some extent. Ooh, that lighting is bad that way. I'm in my backyard. I'm about to run some errands, but I will be back tonight at 8 o'clock. Please tune in for my conversation with Aikisha from Bell Collective. I'm going to ask you guys something before I get off of this. So this is one of my questions I'm going to ask Aikisha. If you watched Bell Collective, you saw that JJ, So Gucci's husband, hired a stripper for her birthday, right? And if that's what her husband wanted to do, I think that's perfectly fine. The question is, do you think it's disrespectful for a wife, not a girlfriend, not even a fiance, a wife, to be putting money in a stripper's pants, right? Either way, do you think that it was disrespectful? It is disrespectful if a wife if a wife is spending money on a stripper. Do you guys think that's disrespectful? I'm gonna give you my answer later today when I interview Aikisha, but I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. Do you think that it's disrespectful for a wife to put dollars in a stripper's G-string if their husband is not there? At the time of the stripping is happening. Do you guys think that's disrespectful to your marriage? Or do you think it's just having fun? Looking forward to hearing you guys' comments. Please make sure that you like this and make sure that you tune back in tonight for my conversation with Aikisha at 8 o'clock. And then, of course, I'll be back on Friday with another Ready to Love conversation after the show and after Bell Collective. So Friday at 10 Eastern. Okay? I'll see you guys then. Have a beautiful week. And hopefully I'll see you tonight.